Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about marriage and sex. I know, right? So risque, so ooh. But we're going to talk about it anyway because all over Instagram there has been this clip of this podcast of a married couple talking about sex and the differences when you get married. So I was like, this is such a good topic. I want to talk about this too. But first, I gotta make this bed. So, gonna do that. Okay, so let's just dive in. First thing first, women force monogamy on men.
The rest of my life with.
Right.
So that brings me back to my soundbite.
Okay.
Right. I don't understand, and this is what we can discuss. Mm-hmm. As a woman, because I don't want to say it's a man versus woman thing, but a lot of women do complain, oh, my husband's always on me. Why is he always on me? Mm-hmm. If sex is going to be a chore for you that you don't really want to do, why do women constantly push monogamy on men? If you know that you don't want to have to deal with him all the time just wanting you, mm-hmm. why do you push monogamy?
Sips tea, because that is crazy. I literally thought back to my relationship when I was dating my husband and trying to figure out if I forced him to marry me or if I pushed monogamy on him. And I don't even think so. Now, granted, their relationship, they were younger, they were in their 20s. I was in my 30s when I got married, or just getting into my 30s. So maybe I was a little bit more mature. They didn't have kids. I already had kids, or we already had kids. So maybe circumstances were a little bit different. But then I'm just thinking in general, he put it in a broad spectrum. Aside from their relationship, he just made it a broad statement that women push monogamy on men. And I felt like, do we? And so I'm always the type of person, because I was a psych major in college, we have to look at the story from both sides. Think at both angles, right? So if we break down both sides, I can see why he would say that, but I think his choice of words make it seem so much worse than what he's trying to say, which is typical for a man. We all know men's choice words are horrible. So I think what he's trying to say is that women want to be married. Women are usually the ones that kind of put the idea in the guy's head. But I think that men don't give themselves enough credit. I think that generally the bachelor guy, when he's dating, he's probably not thinking marriage. But I think that when you meet a girl or a woman that you are interested in and that they, feel like they connect with, I think all of that dissipates and you don't feel forced into monogamy. You just kind of want to be monogamous. I think that too, men also have a hard time outwardly expressing that emotion, so women are usually the nudgers in the situation. But I don't think we're just walking around forcing men to marry us. It's the course of the relationship. As the relationship flows, you get to a point where you kind of almost know that it's time to have that conversation. And I think most men just don't have that conversation. And yeah, I don't think it's forcing. I don't think it's forcing at all.
Boy, look at you, boy.
This is my question. If you wanted monogamy,
okay,
why would you want monogamy if sex is a chore for you? That's the question. You're avoiding the question.
I'm not avoiding the question, but at first you said women or in general me specifically are pushing monogamy on somebody. Okay, yes, that's something that I wanted, but I didn't press you for it and be like, Deval, I'm gonna hold a gun to your head to propose to me.
Time out.
Also, let me finish. Also, I don't feel like I was adequately prepared for marriage. And I've said that before, because if I knew that marriage and monogamy was going to involve me trying to meet you where you were at sexually for years to come, then I probably would have reevaluated it if I wanted to be monogamous anyway.
Okay, so then they talk about for a second the fact that Kadeem feels like she was not prepared for what marriage was going to entail. So if she had been prepared, she would maybe not be married, or maybe not have gotten into this. So I started thinking, would I have? And then started thinking about the being prepared part. So both of those things are oddly true to me, for me. I also think that, like, maybe yes, it is that women request monogamy. I agree with that. I agree that percentage wise, women probably say, what is this? I mean, I know that for me and my relationships, probably 90% of the times I was asking the guy, like, okay, what are we doing? What is this? And whatever. And kind of putting, I don't like to say pressure, but bringing up the topic of monogamy. And men are usually like, go with the flow type of situations, right? So even in a monogamous situation, and now at the age of 33 myself, I do honestly think that if I was better prepared for what was to come in marriage, that I probably would have said to myself, Erica, you're just not ready yet. And the only reason for sure that I know I would have said that is because I already had a kid at 23. Like 22, whatever, however old, and I already didn't have any time for myself then. So you throw in a husband, you throw in a stepson, and then eventually you throw in another baby a year and a half into your marriage. The time dwindles. And meaning, when I say time, I mean like the sexual intimacy, the time that you have in the day starts to dwindle away. And I don't think that the 27 or 26-year-old me who wanted to get married, who wanted to like be in this monogamous relationship, thought about time. As a parent now, I think about time. As a wife, I think about time. I do think that as a woman in general, even if you don't have kids, there's still a time factor that affects your sex life, to the point that, like, you're coming home from work. So if you work a 9 to 5, your normal day, you wake up in the morning. If you're the wife that prepares breakfast for your husband, you're preparing breakfast, you're making the coffee, you're getting dressed, you're getting out the door, you're going to work, right? You spend the whole day at work. It could be a good day, an okay day, or a bad day. Either way, you're drained. Then you come home from work, and you have to get home at 6, rush to make dinner by 7, get dinner on the plate, sit down, maybe have a glass of wine, have a cocktail, something, watch some little TV with your husband and hang out a little bit. Or maybe because you don't have any kids, you just go out. You go out for dinner. You go out and meet some friends. You maybe go to happy hour. Maybe you're spending the night out. You come home. Do you have time for sex? By the time you're home, by the time you settle in bed after you watched your show together, it's 10:30. 9 times out of 10, most couples at the age of 30 to 27 to 35 or 6 or older are going to bed by 10:30, 11 o'clock. Do you have time for sex? I just think that there's also this thing when it comes with time. I think it all is relevant to time, that you then think to yourself, and I know I do sometimes, if we don't have sex today, there's always tomorrow. Like, and if we don't have sex tomorrow, there's always the next day. And that may be not a good way to go about it, but I do think that there is truth in that. I think in any monogamous relationship, if you have no intention on breaking the relationship, you think to yourself, there is still time. Like, I still have time. Like, for me, it's like, okay, as being honest, we have started, or we do sometimes schedule sex. I think most of the time we do that because of our schedule and how it pans out and how, the things that we have to do. Corey has business meetings when he comes home. I have lives or interviews or whatever I need to do in the evenings. Somebody has a birthday. A family member is having dinner at their house. We are maybe going out to dinner on Fridays. Saturdays are busy, so we're spending the whole day out. If we don't schedule it, it could possibly never happen. And then even in the scheduling, it's like you schedule it because it's the only free day you have. But then when you think about your free time as a married couple, that you also think about your time forever with this person, it's like, on my one free day this week, is that what I want to do, or do I want to sleep? So it's it's hard. And I know that there's couples out there who will pretend that this is what they do on a regular, like that they just have sex on a regular. I mean, kudos to you if that's what you do. That's awesome. I think the reality is more women are afraid to say that they're not pleasing their man or having sex all the time than they are willing to say that, it gets done once a week. And I think that the bigger issue is the time. I think that monogamy gives you this sense of forever, and which, you're pushing for forever. So it gives you a sense of forever, which then impels you to hold off and push things back. I think it's like that for sex. Okay, so I think the problem too is that she didn't really say what changes when you're married. She said that she didn't know that it was going to be as intense, right? Or like this, that the sex was going to be wanted all the time. You don't put that into perspective, but what changes and what the differences are between dating someone and being monogamous, and that could be marriage, that could be long-term life partners, whatever, however you want to look at the word. But what happens in the beginning is it's fun. What happens in the beginning is it's adventurous. What happens in the beginning is you're getting to know that person. When we're talking about sex, so you're getting to know that person sexually. What happens in the beginning is you are like rabbits. You just going for it. Like, it's something that you want to do. It's something that you're doing to understand each other, to connect. It's something that you're using as your source. And it's literally just the relationship that most times in most people's relationships start around intimacy. Doesn't necessarily have to be sex, but maybe you felt you liked the guy because he was attractive, or he was sexy, or he had a sexy appeal, or he had a swag. All those things translate to sex, some form of sexuality. But then you get married or then you become monogamous, then you move in together, then you have kids together. So then your level of attraction and the things that are attractive to you don't just mean hot body. You see this hot body every day. Like, I'm not attracted to Corey. I'm attracted to Corey. That doesn't change. The way he looks is still attractive to me. But I see more than that now. I know him inside and out. So what attracted me when I met him 10 years ago isn't what's attracting me now. Now it's what attracts me is him coming home and doing something for his family. What attracts me now to him and makes me want to jump his bones is like if he washes the dishes, or if he takes out the trash, or like if he helps the kids with his homework, if he makes Crew's bed, like those things are attractive. And then not to mention him being the man of the house and taking leadership of our family. Those things are attractive. What she failed to say, and I think she did us women an injustice in that part, is that it's not that we're not trying to have sex. If I'm being quite honest, as a woman myself, I want to have sex all the time too. It's not just like men are the only ones that want to have sex. As a married woman, I want to have sex all the time. But are you doing now what it takes to make me want to have sex? Men are different, in my opinion. Men are different because they can want to have sex whenever. all I have to do is have on short shorts and Corey will want to have sex. All I have to do is kiss him and he'll be ready. Like, all it has to be is a Tuesday and he could, want to do it. As a woman, it's not the same. It's just not the same for us. And I think in the beginning, it seems for a man, like, because I feel like Corey has said before 1,000 times, like when we first got together, we had sex all the time. And I think, yes, of course, because I wasn't connected to you on that level. We didn't have kids together. We didn't make this lifestyle. Now I'm not attracted to just you. I'm attracted to you. Like, I'm attracted to what's in you, what you can pour into me and to this family. So now it's like, are you meeting those needs in order for me to want to be having sex with you? Most of the time, men don't hear what women are saying. Like, I tell Corey all the time, you gotta date me again. And it's not even necessarily that you had to, and it's not like he had to date me before. Like, well, he would pick me up from my house, we would go and do what we had to do and then go on the date. It didn't require a date for him to get some. But now it's like, take me on a date, make me get dressed up, give me a reason to feel like I'm young again and that we just met each other. Like, so it's those things. And sometimes for a guy, like I said, it doesn't have to be any of that. So I think this was such a great topic because it really puts into perspective the differences between men and women and how crazy it is that a man can, view sex as just a thing. Like the way that he was talking about it was as if like, I just want to jump your bones every night. You knew that. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay. And I want to jump your bones every night until you don't help out with the dishes or till you don't help with the kids. So it's like, it's not that I don't want to. It's not like I don't have those same urges. It's just that when I have those urges, are you meeting me where I am? So I actually think that for this conversation, I'm gonna need this guy. Are you gonna want to be in my video?
No, but I'm willing to be in your video.
But
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
That's
But
what marriage is.
it's about marriage and sex. Okay. Have you seen the video that I posted on my Instagram about
Marriage.
that marriage and sex conversation? Do I need to send it to you so you can be all caught up?
Was it recently?
Yes, last week. Did you see it? Yes or no?
No, I didn't. I missed that episode.
Wow.
I missed that episode.
It's not an episode. It's not an episode. It's a post. So what you're saying is you don't watch my
But
posts.
your
You don't.
stories expire for 24 hours.
So you go a whole 24 hours without watching my Instagram stories? I'm sure. That's why. You know why? That's why celebrities couples works, because their husbands usually only follow the wives
The
and no one
publicist
else.
follows them.
And no one else.
The publicist follows.
Either way, you need to only be following me.
Okay, I got a clean.
You don't have a clean.
shirt.
You don't have a clean shirt on.
Semi.
All right, guys. So we'll add him to it.
Maybe.